Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Pete Ulibarri, and today we're going to discuss putting. My main thing that I like to have is I want my putt to be really, really good. But I also want my putt to be good when I am bad. Meaning, when I feel like I don't have it on the green, my putts are still going in. If we have good biomechanics, ways that we set our body up so that our body's natural tendencies will lead into the target, then we're not fighting against poor tendencies that will break down under pressure. Having good biomechanics will lead us to make more putts and make more putts on our off days. That is the important thing about putting. We want our biomechanics to help us be good when we are even bad. And we have a little visitor right here. Let's look at this guy. Hey bro, you want me to help you with your disc golf game? Hey bro, you want me to help you with your disc golf game? Like you want to play disc golf? He didn't want any tips. Very similar fundamentals of throwing remain on the green the same as it does on the tee. Several questions that I think you should be able to answer because they're common across all disc golfers. When putting, when you throw your putt, does it feel like the putter weighs a lot? In the first instance, when we get really heavy at this point, trying to get to the release point, does the disc feel heavy? If it does, then you know you will tend to miss low or left. In that situation, I call that one fast feet, slow hands. So the reason the disc feels heavy at this motion is because when we build energy up quick and make a fast motion forward, and this doesn't move with it, objects at rest like to remain at rest. And because it's left behind, when you go to move it and your body already has inertia, your shoulders, your elbows have already started moving forward before we started moving the disc, then the disc feels heavy. It likes to remain at rest. It wants to remain at rest, and it's going to try to remain at rest. And so the disc will come out low. This situation, moving too fast and trapping the disc, is the same situation of when we go to throw or shot and we move fast here and this gets left behind and trapped. That's the same exact thing. It's just on a very, very, very slowed down scale. In the second scenario, when you're putting, do you find that you'll go to putt and you miss high? Your hand feels like the disc is super light. You're putting a super lightweight disc and the disc floats high and over the basket. You feel like you lost connection with the natural transfer of momentum and weight and you miss high. If that's one of your situations, we'll call that one slow feet, fast hands. Do you have this one? When you line up to putt, you go to swing the disc, everything feels normal, but at the end, the disc falls out of your hand and hits the lock. Maybe it hits the tray, but typically it comes out with no power because it feels like we didn't have a hold of the disc. We lost contact with our grip. Why do we miss because we get soft hands? Why do our hands often give up on us? Is it something that we're telling our body that our hand gets scared? I think the main reason is because we putt with too much energy. And when we get closer, when we putt with far too much energy, our body gets scared that we're going to blow it up too much because at close range, we know that this is too fast of a putt. So we get here and we let go lightly. We soften our grip because we want to slow down the pace of our putt. And when we soften our grip, we lose contact with the most important part of our putt, which is our touch, our connection to the disc. What if we took a whip and at the very tip of the whip, we nullified all of the energy that we put into that whip? It would be the same as if when we threw a drive, right here, we kind of went soft with our grip. And if we did that, well, the disc is going to fall to the ground. Same as when we go soft hands. Soft hands typically miss to the lock or tray. So I'm wondering if you're going to guess what my answer is going to be. Now, let's take a walk. Once again, just like when we were throwing a disc, we want our pace to be the same. What we would like to see is that our hands match our feet. When I go to step, my right hand matches the pace of my feet. My left hand matches the pace. So when we're walking, there's this natural timing. When we step putt, there's a natural timing. Both our hand and our feet in that situation moved exactly the same pace, or very similar. So when our lower body initiates a movement, our upper body must reciprocate in time. What's the difference between this putt, where everybody's comfortable, and going to 15 feet, where people start getting nervous? Back a bit further, and what's the difference between the pace of all those putts? Very, very little. It didn't require that much more energy. Yet what I tend to see a lot is guys will be really good at this close. They'll get back a little bit further, and then once they get to about 20 feet, they start trying to get all kinds of fancy and get heavily weighted forward concrete feet, and now their biomechanics are stuck and they can't get to the basket. So they start having to break their own biomechanics in order to get to the basket. So then, what is our connection? How do we correct having soft hands if we have a putt that has too much pace? And because it has too much pace, we're trying to correct for it at the last minute, almost subconsciously. How do we correct for then having too much pace and then anchoring our feet, concrete feet, so that we slow our putt down? Well, then we miss high. Or we want it far too much, we get too much forward pressure, too much forward balance, and we move, and now objects at rest wish to remain at rest, and the disc gets stuck behind, and we putt low. Start off here. Pace from station 1, probably about a 10-footer. The pace was the same. Hand moving forward, foot moving back, departs at about the same pace, but the big muscles never beat the little muscles in this situation. All right, our next putting station. Not much difference between here and there. Does it require me to have a different pace? No, I didn't put much energy into that. Here we go. Main thing I'm focusing on is I want my hand in the right contact with the disc and feeling that I don't have to put a ton on it. It's just this 1, 2, 3 timing. Okay, so we made that one. Now we're gonna go to the edge of the circle, which is just a step behind this one. So we're about 35 feet. It's not gonna take extremely any more power. Doesn't take a lot of power. Notice the timing between the hands and the feet and that they all sync up. One thing is not moving faster than the other. That is the greatest secret that we can have to having natural timing in our disc golf swing, whether we're throwing for power shots or whether we're throwing putts. Alrighty, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. Leave some comments. I like interacting with the comments. If anything's helped you or clicked for you with this video, please let me know. I love to hear about it. In our next video, we'll discuss a little bit more on putting, maybe a part 2 for this series. Hope you're excited about it. We'll see you in the next video.